Okay, so now I have two computers. Okay, one is Windows 10 and one other one is DC01. So this DC01 is my domain controller. Okay, where I have the domain called Microsoft.com. Okay, already built this because I wanted to show this how to domain join the computer, right? That is why I've already built a domain called Microsoft.com. And imagine you are working in the company called Microsoft.com, and there you work as a desktop support engineer and you have installed an operating system now, Windows 10. Okay, as I told you, the pre-checks, the post-build activities, you need to verify what is the name of the computer, correct? Na? You have to come here and type a command called host name, okay? And see, this is your computer name and it is as per the naming standard. There is no difference. Now, you need to verify what is your IP address. There is a command to check that ipconfig, and if you see, it will tell you whether what is your IP address. Now we have your IP address 192.168.198.51. Okay, and you would like to see whether it is IP address is static or dynamic. The same command ipconfig space slash all, if you give, you can see more information, and in the more information, here you see DHCP enabled or not. Okay, so it says it's a DHCP enabled. Okay, but let me go to the network interface card, network control panel dot CPL. Go there and you open the network interface card, which is Ethernet 0. Go to properties, okay, and click on this IPv4. See, this is static IP. Okay, so let me do one thing. Try to let me try to now domain join the computer. Okay, sysdm.cpl. If you run this command, the computer name tab will be open here. Okay, now quickly check, click on the change option here. Okay, if you click on the change option, you see two options here. One is computer name, another one is member of domain, another one is work group. Now the computer is there in the work group. Work group means it is a unsecure, it is a group of computers where you have peer to peer connection. Okay, if you have 10 computers, all the 10 computers can talk to each other, but there is no security for it. Means, say for example, you have a computer at your home, that is a work group computer. You log in with your ID, you can see the D drive, E drive and all. Maybe your brother or sister will also have different login, but once they log into the computer, they can see all the C drive, D drive, E drive, and the data, there is no security. You can see her data, or she can see your data, correct, right? There is no security. That is called as work group. But domain means it is not like that. Domain, it's a security boundary. Means everything is secured there. If you want to access any data, for that you need to key in your username and password. Okay, and the password and the authentication will be controlled in a central store, central place. Okay, so now I want to make this computer to go to the domain rather having it unsecured work group. How to do that? You have to come here and click on this domain option. So once you click on this domain option, you have to specify which part of the which it should be part of which domain. Okay, member of which domain it should be. So now you have to mention the domain name. In my case, it is Microsoft.com. If you are working in IBM, it is IBM.com. Maybe if you are working in Accenture, it is an Accenture.com. Okay, like that. So now it is Microsoft.com. Okay, and once you hit enter, it is throwing an error. What is that error? An Active Directory domain controller ADDC for this domain Microsoft.com could not be contacted. See, we are all human beings, okay? So for us, remembering the name is very, very easy, okay? But for computer, they don't understand the names. They will understand only zeros and ones. Correct, right? That is why we have a service called DNS. What it will do, I am able to remember the number names, but computer is able to understand the numbers. So in between us, I mean computer and us, this DNS works as a translator. So whenever you enter Microsoft.com, the DNS will in it, I mean, write that IP address, I mean, that whatever IP address is there associated with the Microsoft.com, right? So it will give the IP address of the particular domain. So if you remember, in the network interface card, I have not added the DNS address. See here in the network interface card ncpa.cpl. If you remember, I have not added the DNS server IP address. Properties, IPv4, and the preferred DNS is empty. There is no DNS server IP address. Correct na? That is the reason, that is that computer, when I try microsoft.com, it is not able to resolve that to the IP address. There is no one to give the IP address for that uh, associated with the domain name. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to add the DNS IP address. See, in this DC01, okay, I've also configured the DNS here. See, tools, you see DNS. This DNS service is installed. Means this server can be called as DNS server also. So the IP address of this server is like 192.168.190.50. See here, 192.168.190.50. Now go back to the PC, W10, Windows 10, okay, and then add the DNS server IP address, which is 192.168.190.50. Okay, now you say apply OK. Now go back to the same screen here. Now I don't do anything, I'll just say OK. Once I click on OK, you will see that resolution happens and it will try to talk to the domain controller and ask for the login. See here. See, now the name got resolved to the IP address, and using the IP address, this computer now queried to the DC01, because DC01 is the domain controller, and it is asking, hey, I want to getting joined to your domain. Can you please allow me? Then the DC tells, okay, yes, you can join, but you prove your identity. Who is going to add you? Okay, here you will mention then Microsoft administrator. Administrator is going to domain join. So what is the password? You need to enter the password of the administrator and hit enter. Now the authentication is will be valid. I think I entered the wrong password, I know. Okay, so let me try one more time. Microsoft, okay. Administrator Microsoft /admini STRATOR. Okay, password is password at the rate 123. uh, Correct. Microsoft, yes, I think we are good now. See, now the following record attempt in the domain, the username password is incorrect. Okay, 1 minute here. I don't know what password I have given for the administrator. Now I want to reset the administrator password. I came to DC01, I went to users. Here you see the administrator. Right click on the administrator account and say reset. P, I don't know whether it is small or, okay, okay, got it. I was entering I mean, the keyboard is on and it was capital, I guess. Um, AD Microsoft /ADMINI STRATOR administrator PASSWORD at the rate 123. If I still get the error, see, it is not an error now. Now it says you have joined. Welcome to the Microsoft.com domain. Now if I say OK, the computer gets restarted. Okay, so let this get restarted. Meantime, okay, I can go to the DC01, which is my domain controller. Okay, and you see the computer which you recently added. It will be available here in the computer object. See, in the computer, if you double click, see the PC01 which you just added, this PC01 which you just added, it came here. That is, now this PC01 is part of the domain now. Okay, now this is no more a work group machine. This is the domain environment machine now. Okay, so let this comes up. Now let me log into the computer, and if you click on other user, you see it is now signed into Microsoft. It is asking. Now it is not the standard machine. It is the domain machine. So now if you want to log in, say administrator, STRATOR, and you have to specify which domain you are. Okay, you have to specify Microsoft backward slash and administrator password is password at the rate 123 and hit enter. Now the user is now able to log in to the Windows 10 machine with the domain username and password. Okay, we need to wait for this to log in, and then I'll just go to the system sysdm.cpl, and if you go to the system properties and see whether this is workgroup or domain, it got changed to domain. Okay, so you'll need to wait for a couple of seconds here. So my computer is now logged in. Now let me quickly go to the command prompt, okay, and type a command called sysdm.cpl. And if you see, my computer is now not in the work group. See, it is in the domain called microsoft.com. Okay, so now in the DNS also we have the entry. See, if you go to DC01 here, go to the DNS here, I'll do refresh. See here, this is my PC01, right? Triple one dot 131 is there, okay, but that will get updated. It should be 71, okay. So it should be the 71 IP address, IPconfig, yeah, IPconfig, REGISTRDNS. Yeah, so there is a command called ipconfig register DNS, REGISTER DNS. See, now I'm going to register this in the DNS. Okay, so in some time here one new entry will be created, or the same entry will be getting populated as with a new IP address. This PC01 is done. It was yesterday I built one more computer called PC01. Okay, in that I've added the same IP address 111.131. Since that record is already there, it is now showing the old IP address. But since I've ran the W10 in this Windows 10, I ran this register DNS. After some time, this IP address will be getting changed. Or I can delete this, and I can do this register DNS. Okay, it will take some time, and it will just populate here in the this machine. So I'll show you in the tomorrow. See, it came now. See, PC01, it got created 192.168.190.51. That is my IP address of this. See, the IP address is 51. Now it got created, a entry got created here. So in future, if anybody is trying to access PC01, that request will come to this DNS and get the IP address of this, like 192.168.190.51. Okay, that is how. Okay, so that's all for the today's class. Okay, so this is about how to domain join a computer. Okay.